Hi, this is Jen Johnson with the EDL 955 final presentation, the Safe School Audit. I chose Morgan Elementary School in Hutchinson, Kansas, USD 308. At Morgan Elementary School, there are 474 total students. The population between male and female is pretty evenly divided, with 49.58% being male and 50.42% being female. For ethnicity, 70% of the students are white, 3.8% are African American, 13.5% are Hispanic, and other makes up 5.7%. The number of students with disabilities make up approximately 15% of the population at Morgan, and ELL makes up 3.9%. Some of the pictures, as you can see here, are the front entrance to Morgan, the side entrance. There are several side entrances, but this is the only one with a scan card. And then Morgan is built around the gym with a left hallway and a right hallway. And when you enter in through the front entrance, you can go directly into the gym, and then off to the right would be the office. And that is part of what we would consider the left hallway. You will also see that there are 2 floors on Morgan. So there is an elevator entrance back towards the back, and that is also the exit out to the playground with stairs as well. In terms of facilities, recently last year, the PTA paid to include a zip line that goes across the playground for students. And in 2013, there was new signage for Morgan Elementary. I did attend a PTA meeting there, and one major area concern that they have talked about are the crosswalks outside the school, and it is slated that they are going to paint those and do some updates to those in the summer of 2015, so after school gets out this year. In the audit results, Morgan is one of the more affluent schools in the district, therefore there tends to be more funds, and they do have a stronger PTA. So at this time, all the facility equipment is currently up to state and federal standards. There is no equipment that is slated to be replaced, but the HVAC system above one of the classrooms has been smelling, and the head maintenance person has taken a look at it, and over Christmas break, they are going to have someone come in to do some further investigation and scheduled repairs if needed. Immediate attention needs are really the crosswalks in the outside corners of Morgan Elementary, and that is going to be taken care of this summer. The principal and the PTA work really well together to address concerns that arise, and the PTA does a lot of fundraising and has quite a bit of funds and is able to help with different things that may need to be replaced in terms of copiers, playground equipment, and those types of things. And right now there is no current construction plans. Our school district is actually going through a boundary restructuring process, which will be effective for next year. So the PTA is looking to add another piece of playground equipment to the school next year. However, they are putting off because in terms of current PTA members as well as students that are going to be attending the school, they're just really not sure what that's going to look like at this point. The environmental conditions, the principal and the lead maintenance staff at the school are responsible for environmental conditions within the school and checking. And then we also have a basically a head maintenance person over all the district that does come in if there is a need that arises. At this time, there's no major environmental concerns, but with the HVAC maintenance that's scheduled above that particular classroom, the approximate cost for the inspection and possible fix of that is around $3,000. The approval path for this process, usually maintenance staff will bring up any concerns or needs to the principal. The principal then has to consult the maintenance director, usually putting some type of ticket in, and then if more approvals are needed, it will go to the superintendent for approval. The deferred maintenance at Morgan is something that was a little bit harder to determine. They do the cleaning of the gutters every summer. Excuse me. And then also the playground has rubber chunks in the areas as filler, and those are coming up on 5 years of being in there, and they are wanting to add some more and replace them. So the principal is going to coordinate the efforts with those and schedule the cleaning of the gutters, which would be approved by the maintenance director. And then the PTA is going to assume the cost of putting the new and additional rubber in the playground. The cleaning of the gutters is unknown, but previous years have showed that it's been approximately $2,500 for the cost. And then the replacement of the rubber is estimated at $5,000 for both playground areas. In terms of the approval path, maintenance personnel kind of heads up these and plans these, getting approval from the principal, who then gets approval from the maintenance director and then the superintendent. In terms of inadequate funding, because Morgan is one of the more affluent schools in the district, there is generous funds, I guess I would say, for general maintenance and maintenance around the school and those types of things and upkeep. The other funding resources are from the district and the PTA organization as well. So if it's something that is more school related, then maintenance personnel would get approval from the principal, who would get approval from the maintenance director, and then the superintendent. And then if it is something other related that the PTA organization could help out with, staff and maintenance would go to the principal and then would get approval from the PTA organization for the purchase or the allocation of funds to repair or fix something. At Morgan, in terms of staff training, they work really hard to do great professional developments. Our school district is in our second year of CHAMPS, and so they do allow for those types of trainings. They have also recently held PBIS and behavior management trainings. The reason that there is some inadequacy, I feel, is due to the lack of time for professional development. Because PLCs and collaboration times are already taken up, it is hard to find additional training times. And when we do have early release days throughout the school district, things need to be planned usually at least a year in advance. So the principal is responsible for the approval of all the professional development that happens within the school building, and then additional outside training such as Ames Web training, which is our progress monitoring system, any types of bloodborne pathogen training, and then our MANT, emergency safety interventions training, and other curriculum trainings are coordinated through the director of curriculum instruction and the special education department. And those are planned in advance. In terms of cost of training, the current cost of trainings are kind of on a case-by-case basis, but the principal has done a really good job of allocating some extra funds to provide snacks and meals when it is, a training that may have a working lunch or something else. So the principal is going to determine the training and professional development and then gets approval as needed for those. Poor practices. At this time, the school is running really efficiently. The one thing that I did kind of find was that the filing of truancy is something that is not necessarily done with immediacy, if that makes sense, in terms of when a student does reach the number of absences that would necessitate filing for truancy. Because of family environments, mental health needs, students leaving for psychiatric hospitalizations and illnesses and those types of things, it's not necessarily always done in a timely manner due to the nature of situations, but that is, again, not directly related to building maintenance and those types of things. And so I just kind of talked about that a little bit. Director of Student Learning and the Special Education Director monitor the truancy, and the secretary reports that to the principal. But again, at this time, there were not necessarily any poor practices that I had found. The school works really, really well with its maintenance staff, and the principal is on top of it. Public opinion. The school is very good at communicating with the community and inviting them to school events and doing development opportunities. The school is good at coordinating family participation and interactions. They have family fun nights every trimester. And in conjunction with the PTA, they plan a fun run for all of the school in the spring. This year, the school reseeded the grass area in front of the school, which tends to get trodden on a lot, I guess you could say, with the students, not always respecting where the sidewalk is and then walking through those. And then before the start of the school year this year, the painting of the entryway sidewalk was painted with the school mascot, which is a Morgan Mini Hawk. No safety concerns other than standing supervision ratios of staff to students on the playground were found at this time. Everything seems to be in complete working order. The principal is in charge of this, as well as the PTA in terms of planning events and doing those types of things. And then costs would be anything associated with family fun night and those types of things. Student and staff morale. The principal does a great job of providing opportunities to include parents and family in fun nights every trimester, which really, I think, does a great job at keeping parents involved and inviting them to participate, which really helps with involving those stakeholders and creating a good relationship with them. There's a golden ticket reward system for students and positive notes for teachers and staff. They work immediately to address issues with morals with teacher and staff, and also to address any issues, if a teacher has a concern about something in their classroom, then they work really hard to address those immediately. There tends to sometimes, I think, be a little bit of disconnect with staff members. And so I think that's one area that they can improve upon is trying to find additional resources and finding more time for the teachers to be able to kind of build morale. Pupil transportation concerns. The IEP as well as the IEP team as well as the principal evaluate transportation issues, and this is something that's kind of caused a little bit of an upheaval in the district because of the boundary restructuring that is going to be going on. But usually it is only special ed students that have the possibility of being considered for transportation concerns. And then that goes from the IEP team to the principal and then to the special education director for approval. And then if it needs further approval, it does go to the superintendent. That is something that I feel they're really good about communicating and determining if the need necessitates that there is special transportation. And the other thing is we also have the addition of 2 social workers in our school district this year. And so they have been great at kind of bridging that gap between education and mental health. So if there is a mental health need or there is other things going on in the family environment, they can also help brainstorm alternative types of transportation to get kids to school. And that is the end of my presentation. Thank you for listening.